That is from Contra on the NES. Man, the bass and the drums just pound. Just ripping through that Dorian scale to give you that dramatic but heroic sound. And it's only, it's like a 50-second loop before it swings around again. And this is the first thing you hear as you pick one. You start the game, bam. You're dropped in the world, you're shooting people with machine guns. I love that kick drum at the end, setting up the turnaround. That is Contra, the jungle theme. I love it. The first pick from one of our Discord people, this is chosen by Prince. This is from a pretty bad game. A terrible game. Probably the worst game in terms of ratio of how much money was spent on it and the quality of it. Of course, it is Balan Wonderworld. 2021's. If you thought that our recent timeline couldn't get any worse, Balan Wonderworld comes out. I just feel bad for the developer. They gave him a huge budget before really getting to know what he could actually do. And he's probably basically out of the industry now because of this. It was a humongous failure that they put way too much money in. But the soundtrack's pretty good. So this is Chapter 5, Forest, from Balan Wonderworld. Oh man, does that not just sound like you are in some kind of wonderful jungle? Almost like an Avatar theme. Yeah, bouncy for sure. For platforming, celebrations. It's almost like a very slow kind of jump. I am such a sucker for this. Ba, 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 boom, ba, ba, boom, 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 ba, ba. There is so much hope and inspiration, and it's an entire world foresty party. What an incredible track. Porky sounds like a track from a CD you'd find at a small store specializing in organic goods and supplements. Oh yeah, this is the party track. This is number 7 after the first 6 are meditational. Good for listening in the bath when you're covering yourself in essential oils. Up next, a track about the woods from a recognizable game, so I will not be telling you. You can figure it out yourself. I like that the ocarina is this small little instrument that can only play maybe like 5 or 6 notes. So I like that they actually use the ocarina in the song on the notes that it can play. And then here, when they need more notes, they switch over to like a fake violin. Or it's I don't know what it is. The MIDI is so primitive that there's only so much you can hear. This is not a great headphones track. This probably mixes better on an N64 mono, maybe stereo, either like out to a TV. Yeah, this. If you have $1,000 headphones, you're probably just going to hurt yourself a little bit more. But a great simple track, bouncy, fun, sparse. I like the way they put that kind of... It's like somebody's hitting a bucket. There it is. It's just simple. It sounds like kids that live in a forest that are elf people. Sort of a hybrid of kid, adult, elf, human, forest. I don't know what else. Forest circus. Folk. Playing instruments that they found. And the nice thing about this is I believe in this is the Lost Woods, and you're constantly at a crossroads where there's like 3 options you can go to, and you need to listen and see wherever the song is playing the loudest, which is just, what a great thing to put in a game. You need to reward the players for being engaged in your world, and then they'll be engaged in it. Don't you want them to be engaged in your world? This next one, I'm not sure whether it's going to be a forest theme or a mountain theme. We'll all be the judge of it. We will judge it harshly. Critically, with no mercy. This is from a PlayStation 1 game, a big RPG at the time. This is when Sony thought, we can make our own RPGs. I believe it might even have been a North American studio. This is The Legend of Dragoon, Battle Theme 2. Yeah, definitely some jungle sounds in there. We've got sort of like, I don't know if that's a marimba or what that is. Sort of basically like a wooden kind of keyboard that you hit with mallets. Something very wind chimey sounding. But there's a lot of tension, a lot of rising notes, and there's a ton of discordance as well, where it goes to notes and chords that you just don't expect, where it sounds like something terrible has happened. You just sat on a bee's nest that is inside of a fire ant nest, and there were little baby birds in that nest too, and you're trying to save all the baby birds. No nest for the wicked. This soundtrack shows up quite a bit, and I remember liking it. 11-Bit Studios, I remember liking their games. This is from Moonlighter. The track is Macadamia, Mayhem. Man, I really like that breathy flute. I find their choice of notes, tones, gives it like a really mystical vibe. Like you're discovering something deep in a forest that has something from another world, some kind of magical power. Although I'm also looking at this wallpaper in front of me, right above my head here, and it definitely gives it away. This is no normal archaeology dig. For one, the guy has a sword. It's no normal sword. It's about the size of a paddle. And his backpack has one giant strap on it that looks like a big old cow tongue made out of leather. It's pretty nice. Real nice. Good soundtrack. This next track, I believe, was chosen by Rudy. This is from Castlevania, the Castlevania sound team. I don't know which Castlevania this is from. I think whatever one came out in 2005, or maybe you'll recognize the cover. There it is. Castlevania has a pretty high standard for music. Will this one hold up? Whoa. Keeps going. Oh my god, it has more parts to it? Oh. The goats are here! Oh my god. That's only at 2 minutes 37 seconds of a 5 minute 25-second track. There could be many more places it goes. Feel free to check it out in your own time. Excellent track! I don't know if I would feel like I'm in a forest or a mountain. What betrays it is the harpsichord, dun, dun, which is such a delicate, expensive instrument. You're not going to really find that out in a forest or in a mountain. Maybe you're in some kind of like hollowed out mountain that a very rich, aristocratic family or tribe has created, and this is their mountain hall theme. But to me, it seems more like you're in a decadent palace. But I like it. Will our next track be more on theme? This is from Ys, Y-S, number 8. They've made 8 of these, at least. Lacrimosa of Dana, Lost in Green. Yeah, I could feel comfortable with this being in the forest or the mountain side of it. My mom pictures windsurfing on a beach, rushing through a forest on a quest to save the friends on top of a mountain. Anytime you have those like pan flute sounding things, it sounds like a very ancient civilization that has their own specific culture and music. I get the gist that they could be in very high forests on a mountain. And somebody plugged in an electric guitar instead of playing along with it. Because they've been around a while. They've made electricity by harnessing lightning strikes on the coconut trees. Nice track. I'm not really a fan of that kind of electric guitar as melody lines, but I like almost everything else in it. Oh, there we go. More guitar. Very nice. This next choice is also from a very, very well-known franchise, so I'm going to let it play out and let you guess. Let's go. Yeah, Prince, I agree. I mean, this is obviously from a game where you play Solid Snake and he does a lot of very stealthy hunting. But it's interesting, what about the beat makes it feel like you are being hunted or hunted? I think the way that the pan flutes give it this jungle forest feel, but they're played in kind of like a very almost violent way, like phew, fo, 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 fo. They're not trying to do like a mystical, inspirational, lyrical melody. It's just phew, phew, almost like a knife stab. Now, that slight bit of electronica just gives it more of like a stealthy feel, like it's a human prowling around, like it's a spy, like they're using some equipment and technology. Oh yeah, flying arrows or darts. Absolutely, yeah. And I think it's also the way that the beat, where it kind of feels like you're sort of putting one paw in front of the other, and then it's like the way a cat would stalk, like ba-da-boom. Perfectly well done by the great Harry Gregson Williams. Metal Gear Solid 3's Close Quarters Combat. We've actually got another Castlevania track. This is from Castlevania 3, Dracula's Curse. This is the Mad Forest. Yeah, this has got a real kind of spooky vibe to it. That da-da-da-ba-da-da-da-da. I love that opening, the opening jump that first interval takes. Bum ba dum ba. Oh, it's such a beautiful leap. It just makes you feel like you can do anything. I mean, I guess they're going for the spooky theme because it is, as you can see from the cover that I didn't put on the screen, it's a Castlevania game. Look, there's spooky skeletons, all kinds of spooky stuff, spooky people in robes. He's completely orange and he's the good guy. The music in Castlevania, yeah, definitely, they always want to make it dancey. Dancey and catchy. And I think it's because the roots were on the NES where you needed to make things catchy because you had so little to work with, only 4 channels to work with. Vampires love clubbing. It's dark all the time. And there's people there that are up for getting their necks sucked on. We've got a late edition from the great Horky Sporky. This is from Ragnarok Online. Outside Geffen, the plateau. You can do anything. You can do anything. If you wash my car today. That was a beautiful little track from Ragnarok. Those massively multiplayer online games where they require you to be in the same spot for many, many hours, they always have the best music. They have to have the best music. It can't be annoying. It has to make you feel good because they're trying to get you addicted to their game. Like sweet, sweet crack. Our next track is from Final Fantasy IX, a game we recently completed. If anybody wants to watch me play it, it's on the channel. This is called Stirring the Forest, Evil Forest Theme. Will it have a B section? Not really. Oh, yes. Yeah, interesting. I mean, the track is called Stirring the Forest, so I like that they use very sort of delicate pizzicato plucks on the strings. It's very like chunk, 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 a lot of arpeggios. It sounds like very dainty spots. Steps are being taken. Like, who was it? Claudio had said, sort of like crickets and fireflies and little bugs kind of waking up and moving around. Not super evil yet, other than the, or almost like hinting at it. Like you're in a peaceful forest, but you're on guard. Nothing's happened, but something is about to. And then when that, like Horky said, the Venice-sounding mandolin or sort of Mediterranean stringed instrument comes in, I guess that could be like the buzzing wings of some kind of bug that you're hoping doesn't go into your ear when you're asleep. Alright, we've mentioned edutainment a few times, and now it's time for a very Prince pick, a very edutainment pick. This is the Cluefinders' third grade music. Yeah, he looks like he's about 38 years old. Monkey Kingdom, track 1. What the hell? 39 seconds. Pretty subtle, laid-back track. A lot of wooden flute sounds, some forest ambiance. Yeah, that monkey would guard your house, but he also looks like a monkey that he feels like if he's not being respected or he's not getting paid enough, he might hold you or something you love hostage. He might threaten to let the alligators in. He's very shifty looking. He doesn't look happy to see these people in the jungle. Maybe because he recently murdered a man and took this conquistador armor. Now he's thinking, those are humans. They look like that guy I just murdered and stole his armor. And he has a phone. Maybe he's about to call the police. And this girl has a magical... What is that? A backpack that floats over her head? Also looks very suspicious of the monkey, with its big shifty eyebrows. Keeps rain off her and keeps the sun off her. She's a redhead. She can't burn. She'll die. Alright, it's time to get serious. Enough monkeying around, even though that's probably more like a baboon. This is Remnant from the Ashes, Yaesha miniboss theme. Kind of reminds me of the Hans Zimmer-inspired military action soundtracks of the 1990s. A cathedral in a jungle? Yeah. I guess like you're storming the base of some previously peaceful jungle civilization and just destroying everything because they have bats on the floor that scare you. Nice little track. Wasn't as ominous as I thought it was going to be, although this part is getting more ominous as I speak. It's got a lot of tension that just stays there, that like it's waiting to just explode into it. Maybe because this is a boss battle, as it gets further in, it's saving that explosion for later on. It's a nice track. It has some restraint, which I did not expect when I saw the words Remnant from the Ashes mini-boss. Alright, you crackalackers. Next up is from Final Fantasy X. Shouldn't have given it away. Okay, how about this? You have to guess what the track is. Great point, Claudio. It does have a chilling sound to it. I think that this theme does such a great job of encapsulating the themes and story of Final Fantasy X. The way that it builds up to something and kind of hits that crest, the way that as you're getting higher and higher in the tension and the build of it, there's this low underlying note that makes it feel inevitable and melancholy. The way it's something you have to do, and something that is important, something meaningful, but something that is ultimately sad. And it just, to me, speaks so much to what Final Fantasy X is about, Yuna's journey, and the little pit stop that for Kimari to have his arc along the way. It's sort of combative sounding, the way these rhythms are pushing and pulling. Beautiful theme. We've got another JRPG from Squaresoft, Chrono Trigger, Secret of the Forest. Yeah, that is a great thing to point out. David Wise quality, Donkey Kong Country. He's the composer of Donkey Kong Country. The way that he mastered how to stack layers of sort of suspended chords, sus chords, arpeggios, using delay, and making it feel like it's almost like this track, like the best David Wise and Donkey Kong Country tracks, feels like everything is kind of bubbling to the surface all around you. The music goes vertical rather than straightforward. I feel exactly the same way. I never really got into Chrono Trigger, but the music is really special, and I can just soundtrack all my favorite times going to the fridge to music like this. From vintage, we go to retro. This is Spelunky Jungle B theme. This sounds like there's a band playing and they hate the crowd that's trying to dance and they're trying to make them fall over. I could definitely hear this on the Genesis, the way those like lower bass notes are. And definitely Prince, this could be such a cool sewer theme because it's got a sort of like dirty, oozing, kind of pulsating, covered in slime, very dark. But then you have those sort of marimba sounds that give it that jungle theme. Very unsettling. Weird time signature. You don't know where these riffs are going. You don't have a chord to outline what the riff is telling you as well. This is some strange stuff. Do you like Crash Bandicoot? This is Road to Nowhere. Absolutely, Chris. What's nice about this track is there's constant sort of wind sound, and then there's not very many instruments. There's not much going on in the track, and it's happening with these like undetermined spaces where all of a sudden you'll have a bump, rest, bonk, which, like Chris says, it does make it seem like there's going to be large gaps. You don't know when you're going to fall, and then this like shocking pan flute, like Orky says, where a bird just gets caught in the studio and they say, leave it in, leave the bird in. So it makes it sound like you are really high up and maybe just a random bird is buzzing past you and that's enough to make you fall over. Switching between mechanic and mystical. Couldn't have said it better myself. Another entry from the game franchise. Ys. This time from Ys 6. The Ark of Nhaptism. Mountain Zone. Will the song hold up on its own and make us think of mountains? Or is it just in the name? This really does have a racing feel to it, where you've got those really soft kind of those synthy pads that just hang in the air with a really propulsive but synthesized bass sounding and like hard drums. It definitely does feel like you're on a racetrack and there's cars kind of buzzing around you. I get like a real sort of swanky, glitzy glamour casino kind of theme to it. Racing in a mountain, maybe? Yeah. Come to the mountain casino. We've burned down all the forest, so you won't have any trouble finding a place to park. Screw you, nature. The casino's back in town. I don't think we've ever had this much friggin' Crash Bandicoot music. And have we done an episode just on the PS1? This is Jungle Rollers. Pretty simple track. This must be one of the first levels, easing people into it. This was a pretty big deal, this game. This felt pretty brand new at the time. This was moving platforming to 3 dimensions after having 2-dimensional platformers ever since the early 80s or even earlier than that. And this was people trying to figure out how to do it. Crash Bandicoot actually, I mean, they were in a 3D environment, but it was very linear, almost 2-dimensional. Mario was very, very open. Knights 3D went into the sky. Never played that. But it was different. Had its own little special controller. This feels like you're just peeking into the edge of the jungle at night, which is very dangerous. From one non-Mario mascot to the next, this is Sonic Forces Moonlight Battlefield Aqua Road. I'm just going to go ahead and guess this is going to be an up-tempo rock song with guitars. Wrong! Ooh. Man, I like these. By the way, I'm so happy to be wrong. It's up-tempo, but way more interesting kind of a dancey... What would you... I don't know the genre you'd call it. Techno, trance, rave, Claudio calls it. I do like when it's sort of fast, but it has this almost misleadingly slower feeling drum beat, where it's not just like... It's not boom, 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 boom. Well, there it is. Exactly when I did it, because I have magic powers. But it's more like a boom-ka, 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 boom-ka. And now there's no beat. The song knows what I'm doing. Yeah, it's got that more breakbeat feel to it, where it's kind of like it's so fast it's going out of control. There we go. It's sort of like you're running. I dropped it. I dropped something. You mean this? Yeah. This will be the final track of the week. If you're watching the upload on YouTube, thanks for watching. We upload these every Wednesday, and you can join the fun live, 2 p.m. Eastern Time. Wednesdays, join our Discord. If the link doesn't work, please let me know with a comment or some other way to talk to me through the internet. The last track for this video on YouTube will be from Final Fantasy VI, Mount Koltz. If you're watching on Twitch or something right now live, we'll play a couple more and we will decide the theme for next week, which might be PlayStation 1 if we have never done it. Let's go. Let's do it from the beginning, like we mean it.